Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this webinar. Thank you, L&D Global, for having me over. If you are excited about this webinar, type yes in the chat box. If you're excited about what we're going to discuss, type yes in the chat box. If I see a no, we will not do the webinar. So that's a short way of making sure I pull out that yes from you. Brilliant. Okay, we got a lot of yeses coming my way. Thank you so much. I'm excited as well. The next one are let's figure out how we can build a personal brand for ourselves. Great. Thank you so much, guys. We have two options right now. Either I put up a boring PPT or we use some handwritten notes. Okay. PPT or handwritten notes. Handwritten notes type 2, PPT type 1. Let me see what. Okay, Sharat says 2. PPT is 1, handwritten notes is 2. So tell me what you prefer. Can we keep the chat on, Smita? I'd love to interact with the audience. So if
yeah,
you can...
I'm trying to figure that out. For some reason, I'm not able to see the chat box. We are working at it on the back end. Just give us a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Sure. So because most of my interaction is going to be with the
Yes,
chat
yes,
box, and I have a lot of questions.
absolutely. So just give us a minute. We're just figuring it out.
Sure. Till we figure this out, anyone wants to unmute themselves and ask a question, we could probably field a Q&A. What is your expectation? And then let me see if I can align myself to that. That is till we figure out the chat. Go ahead. Guys, if you have a question, unmute yourself and shoot. Okay, looks like the chat box is operating right now. And we have some background music as well. So, okay, let's get started. Guys, I think I want to do things a little differently. So we will stick to handwritten notes because the whole idea here is to do something different, something which is more engaging than a PPT. I'm sure we've all seen that PPT called Death by PowerPoint, right? So great, let's get started. Let's assume this is a cup of coffee. This coffee is what your roadside vendor serves you, okay? Tell me how much will you pay for this cup of coffee? Right in the chat box. This is coffee which is served to you nice, fresh, hot by your roadside vendor. How much will you pay for it? Sharat says 10 bucks. Suman says 5. Suman is like, look, I'm not giving anything more than 5. 20, 10, 27. We have an answer called 7. Looks like this person. Okay, 10, 15, 20. I think this will average out at 10. Okay. Now here's something else. This is the coffee cup, and the Starbucks written on it, and this is served to you by Starbucks. How much do you have to pay for? This is won't go there. Kavita says you won't go there. Okay, so we sing 250, 300, 110. I'm not sure which Starbucks you're going to. I don't think you're going to get coffee, so my question is, what changed? What changed here? What changed here? Even if the roadside coffee is better, I ready to pay 300 bucks to a Starbucks and just 10 bucks to a neighborhood vendor. Absolutely, because this is a session on personal branding. It's all about the brand, right? Brilliant. End of the day, it's all about the brand. The brand talks, the brand speaks, and that's what the game is all about. Now, I believe in the audience there are a lot of entrepreneurs, there are a lot of trainers who are running companies, who have a lot of other trainers with them who are training people. So how does this whole brand play come down to training? Okay, and this is what I want to show you. So if you're a trainer, and say you're charging 4,000 per participant for a training program, you may be able to pull in just about 20. Okay, but if you build a personal brand, you could easily charge 25,000 per participant, and you could pull in 200 or even more than that. And if you see, this guy is smiling, this guy is not. Okay, so it's very important for you to, I would say, take the shortcut to build a personal brand vis-a-vis being just another player, right? So I want to know how many of you are trainers out here. Say yes if you're a trainer. Brilliant. So there you go. Majority of you, I believe, are trainers. Great. So it's very important that you do personal branding around you, and that's going to be very crucial. That is eventually what is going to determine how successful you are going to be in your training industry. Okay. So now, how do you go about building a personal brand? One is, of course, you hire an agency. Okay, so you hire an agency, you pay them lakhs of rupees, and they will build the brand for you. They are going to work on your backstory, your website, your logo, your content, your communication, your messaging, your target group. They will do all that work for you. And but yeah, you have to shell out a couple of lakhs, maybe a couple of lakhs per month. So I'm not sure if we have that much money to do this, but how many of you would want to build a brand at zero cost? Okay, type yes if you don't want to invest and you still want to get started building a brand. Brilliant. So everyone wants to build a brand and no one wants to pay for it. That's the typical mindset, but yeah. Yes, Rajni, no one would say no. Okay. Now my first question to all of you is, I'm putting it up in the chat box. Who are you? Who are you? Define yourself in 3 or max 5 words. Okay, take some time out. You don't have to rush into the chat. Who are you? Okay, teacher, Shweta, you need to get more specific in terms of the brand that you want to build. So we're talking about you and your brand. What is your messaging? What do you stand for? Okay, so we have bridge, change agent. Okay, guys, slow down the chat. I'll tell you where the challenges are. Shweta, so teacher is very generic. Bridge, you say change agent, again very generic. I don't get an idea of what exactly do you do. Suman says I'm a soul. Well, that goes very deep. Appreciate the answer, but still it's not very clear what you do. We have career strategist, HR and learning development. So see, that's my question, right? Everyone is calling themselves a soft skills trainer. They're calling themselves, a communications coach. And the problem with that is all of this has become so done and dusted because everyone is calling themselves that. So you're missing out on the differentiation, right? So you need to start getting into a niche. When I say a niche, let's say I'm a soft skills trainer. Let's assume I'm a soft skills trainer. If I just brand myself as another soft skills trainer, it's a red ocean. There are tons of soft skills trainer within a particular locality. But if I call myself as, let's say a PowerPoint expert, that's a niche within the whole, soft skills training market. It gives me a lot more, direction. It tells my user exactly what I stand for, right? So you need to start getting into a sub niche within a niche. Okay, so I'm going to pick up some of the answers here and let's see what we can do better. So we have catalyst to change. Janvi says, again, Janvi gets a little generic. What is the change that you're talking about? Look, the way you describe yourself at least should give me 30 to 40% idea of who you are. Okay, so when you say catalyst for change, it could be anything. Maybe you are a sports nutritionist, maybe you're a motivational speaker, maybe you are someone who's into the education industry. Okay, Leke says Veda life coach. Okay, can you think of something better, which still has what you do but still says it in a very different way. So I think building a brand starts with that, your ability to first take a niche and then go deep in it to get those 3 or 5 words. Okay, it's extremely crucial that you define those 3 words. Very, very important. Okay, so that's the power of a niche. So probably when we are having a discussion, few of you might have questions. You can talk to me about how do you build a niche around your training. Okay, now once you've kind of identified what are those 3 or 5 words, how do you now get onto the whole branding bandwagon? So firstly, you need to choose a medium. Okay, you're going to choose a medium using which you're going to communicate with your users. Now, which is the biggest medium that we have right now? Go ahead and type in the chat box. What medium can we use? So yeah, this is a medium. Zoom is one particular medium that I can communicate with my users. But yeah, everyone, that's it. That's about it. Social media. So social media is the medium largely these days using which you're going to communicate with your audience, with your users. Okay. How are you going to communicate? What is going to be the format of communication? What is going to be the format of your communication? Is it going to be articles? Is it going to be text, video, infographic, audio? Okay, someone says YouTube, blogs, written communication, video, SMS, live videos. Okay, so great. From the research that I've done, I found that video marketing happens to be the strongest bet when it comes to brand building. Okay, of course there's blogs, but everyone's moving to video. That has been the trend. If you look at all big social media platforms, all big social media platforms that have come off late are into video. If you look at TikTok, it doesn't have anything for text, it's video. YouTube is launching an app called Shorts, which is video. Instagram has started live video. It has started IGTV. The focus right now is more on videos. So if you look at how we are consuming content right now, it is moving from text to video. I'm not saying text will perish, it will be there. Blogs are important, obviously emails, but as a consumer society, we are moving more towards video consumption, primarily because everyone has access to videos. We've got a good, fairly decent internet bandwidth thanks to Geo. And I think there is something raw in a video which helps you connect with the user directly. So videos is definitely something that you need to start doing. Okay, and coming to the platform, of course social media is a platform, but where do you go? If you look at all social media platforms, since we are all from the training industry, the biggest medium right now happens to be LinkedIn. Okay, that's because LinkedIn has a very good organic reach compared to any other social media platform. What do I mean by organic reach? Let's say if you have a Facebook page and 100 people have liked that page and you put up something, the organic reach is only 3 to 4%, which means what you've put up, only 3 to 4 people will actually end up seeing it, right? The remaining 95 people, even though they've actually liked your page, they're not going to see that content because Facebook wants you to run ads so that it can reach more people. So Facebook reach took a big hit. This was a good 4-5 years back. That's why people started coming out of it. Then we had Instagram. Instagram was great 2-3 years back, but now again the reach is kind of very, very narrow. LinkedIn is a stage where probably 1.5 years from now the reach will go down, but it is an amazing platform for you to record videos and get the reach that you want. And as trainers, it works for us because our TG is also on LinkedIn, right? Vis-a-vis TikTok. TikTok also has a good reach, but I'm not sure if our target audience is on TikTok right now, right? So it's very important that you make videos, number one. And it's very important that you at least have LinkedIn, which is going to be at the forefront of your brand building strategy. Okay. So now here's my question. Okay. How many of you are creating videos right now? Okay. Let me see if we can do a poll. Don't see an option here. Okay. How many of you are doing videos on LinkedIn right now? Yeah, someone said micro videos. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 2 to 3 minute videos which talk about one concept. Not creating. Fair point taken, Amit. Not creating. Not much. Banu says not much. Ashut says no. No. Yeah, I like these guys. They are being honest. So if you're creating, plan to do. Okay. Jyoti says plan to do. Jyoti, the best time to create video was yesterday. The second best time is now. Not at all. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, this is a little surprising, guys, because this is where you are losing out on a lot of potential customers. Look, brand building is not just posting videos. It has an end goal to get customers, right? That's what the whole objective is: to get more customers, to grow, to influence, to impact. Of course, there's a monetary side to it, but as trainers, we have that joy, when one of our trainees clears an interview or does a good presentation, they always come back and say, hey, I was able to do this because of you. So, and that's the best feeling as a trainer. So if you want to see that impact, you want to have that reach, and that's only possible if you reach more people, right? So I'm a little surprised that I believe a good 80% of this group is not doing videos, but I think this is a great start. This is a great start. Okay, yeah, Dimple has started off my next discussion. I have the camera fear, so I am going to now get into the excuses part. Okay, we all have excuses. Let's list down all the excuses. Okay, why are we not doing video? Let's be honest. Let's not mince any words. Why are we not doing video? So camera fear, point taken. We'll talk about it. I'm making a note of it as well. So we have a camera fear, not tech savvy, brilliant. Okay, fear of rejection, brilliant. I'm making note of these points so that we'll talk about perfectionist. I love that point. Sumali says she's a perfectionist and that's deterring her, brilliant. Lack of content, okay, brilliant. And not sure what to say in the video, brilliant. Don't know much about this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, who said lack of content? I believe it's Anand. Anand, if you can unmute yourself, I'll quickly tell you how you can create 10 videos right now in the next, 2 hours. You can create easily 10 videos. I think Anand said that lack of content. Okay, so I'm going to break all these myths.
Yeah.
I want to break all
this
these
is
myths.
Anand here.
Yes, Anand. So go ahead. Tell me what you do. Tell me who your target group is. Yes. Anand, shoot. We are with you.
Hello.
Yes, Anand. We can hear you. Ashutosh, I will put you in. You're not a trainer. I'll tell you how videos can help you even if you're a trainer.
Okay.
Anand, can you hear me?
Anmol, I'm sorry. Can we take the Q&A after you finish the session? Because how do you want? Yeah. They can ask the questions in the chat box, and then probably we could take it if it's not going to disturb the flow of the session.
Okay.
We want to.
Okay. Actually, Smita, the flow was to answer these questions and then move on to my next point. So can we just field about 4 to 5 questions? Does that work?
Sure. Please go ahead. Please.
Okay. Thank you so much, Smita. Yes, Anand, go ahead. Tell me more about you, what you do, and who your customers are.
Yeah, I'm a life and business coach. I normally coach business owners to take them to the new level.
Okay.
But somewhere down the line, the fear of facing the camera and all those aspects is pulling me back. And also, what content to give? What is it that I need to communicate in that 3 or 5 minutes video? Will it be too much long or too much short? These all questions bother, and then the first step is not
sure. Point taken. So Anand, here's the answer for you. Now, the current crisis that we are going on, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to write for you. What does a business owner want to hear? They want to talk about how do you manage cash flow.
Okay, that's
correct.
Right.
Do you agree with me?
Right. Yeah.
What else is running on a business owner's mind?
Insecurity. What is the future?
Yes. Okay. Insecurity. Point number 2. What
They're
else?
also worried about whether they'll be able to retain employees.
Perfect. Retain employees. Brilliant. Okay.
Then how is the cash flow situation going to be in the future?
Right.
And manufacturing, if they're into manufacturing, whether how it is going to affect. So there is a huge amount of uncertainty around. So that is one thing which is bothering a lot.
Right. So I've just written down 5 points. One is managing cash flows. Second is insecurity. Third is how to retain employees. Fourth is impact on different industries. You spoke about manufacturing.
Correct.
And the fifth is the overall motivation levels have come down.
Correct.
Now, I'm sure you have content with you about managing cash flows, right? You could have say 3 points. You could have just 3 points. Point 1 is to cut down on excess spending.
Correct.
Right. Number 2 is probably figure out ways in which you can work with other stakeholders, do a barter system, and see how you can do more collaborations. Correct. Okay. I think I lost Anand there, but Anand, if you can still hear this. Yes, requesting. I think there's someone who's not muted, so I request you to mute yourself.
Guys, please mute yourself. There's a lot of background noise. All of you, please mute yourself.
Yes. So, Anand, are you with me?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, so I think Anand, everyone was muted, so never mind. I will get going with the answer. So you have these 5 topics, Anand, and I'm sure you have 3 points. That's it, 3 points
Okay.
with respect to each of these topics. Okay, so that's all you need. You need,
Okay.
okay, so you can actually
While
get
he's
started.
talking and he's
Okay, let's
continuing.
mute everyone. Let's mute everyone. I think we fairly have the answer.
That's the best idea.
You muted him also.
And we have
You can
5 videos. And we actually have 5 videos, right? Now, you may ask me, hey, I'm a perfectionist, I want to spend, and spend all my time creating the best of the videos. Guys, perfection is an endless road, okay? It's never going to happen. Guess what? The more you do it, the more perfect you become, okay? Let me give you an example of a study which was done by Harvard. What they did was they split a group of photographers into 2 groups. One group was asked to submit only one photograph which they thought is the best. The second group was asked to submit as many clicks as they can, okay? And guess from which group they found that the best photograph was taken? It was by the second group. Okay, that's because you're constantly clicking pictures, you're constantly improving, you're understanding, hey, the lighting works better here, hey, this is how the timing should work, this is the flash. So you're experimenting, and then you realize, hey, this is the best picture. Let me give another example. Seth Godin, who's the father of marketing, he has written a blog every day for 11 years. Now, individually, those blogs may not be the best blogs, but his best books have come from those blogs. Right? So don't have that perfectionist mindset, right? I'll give you another point. Each one of us are in a different journey from A to Z. Now let's take the case of Anand. Anand says he's a business coach, and let's say right now in his terms of knowledge and skills, he is at letter S. Let's just assume he's a letter S. There are a lot of people who will find value from A to the letter before S. Like till R, A to R, right? I'm just trying to get which alphabet comes before S. So people who are before S, from A to R, are still going to find a lot of value because Anand is at S. Okay? And from T to Z, that's okay. Those people are anyways ignoring. Right? So to be honest, the best time will never come. Okay? Don't think of perfection, think of consistency. In fact, that's what I've written as well, because I knew this was going to come my way. Consistency beats perfection. Okay, so so I'll give you an example. Okay, so I'm not sure if all of you know this, so I'm into stand-up comedy as well, and I had 2 options. Either I wait for the perfect script, or I just go put it out. Okay, and thank God I chose the second one. I'm constantly creating content, and I won't say it's the best content, but people are liking it. People are sharing it. I got invited by IT Madras to perform at their campus. So things are happening instead of me just waiting. Hey, I'm just going to wait for that perfect script to come in place. It will not work. Okay. So I hope I've answered that question. Someone said they're not tech savvy. All you need, friends, is just a camera, a selfie camera. That's about it. All our phones are well equipped with good cameras right now. Just put on the camera and get started. That's it. Just put on the video, selfie mode. You don't have to do any bit of editing. That all comes later. Okay, don't compare your video with someone's video which has a lot of editing has been done on that video. You cannot compare those 2 journeys, because even that person at one point was producing raw videos, right? So you don't have to be tech savvy. You don't need to have a high-end camera. Any phone will do. Okay, so let me take up more questions. Yeah, so Bipla Bendu says, my fear, how many people have already made the same video? How will my video make difference? Do I have any great content? Okay, now Bipla, this is a great question. If everyone's made everything before, there's nothing new to be made, right? If you're thinking that everyone's made everyone's made videos on what business owners can do. I'm sure you have some perspectives. You have your own way to share those perspectives. Maybe it's your storytelling. Maybe it's your personal situation. We are all suckers for stories, right? So you cannot say that someone else has made the same video, so I cannot. No, there are so many people. There's so many people consuming content. You will have your own way. So don't discount yourself. right? I'm sure you have a lot of things to share with the audience and they will start appreciating you. Okay. We have people who are camera shy. The only answer to that is, what are you losing, my friends? Because you're camera shy, what are you losing? Okay, right in the chat box, what are you losing because you are camera shy? Okay, for me, the straight answer, I know it'll hit you, is money. Okay, wait just a minute. Yes, I think you're losing money, you're losing opportunity, you're losing clients, you're losing your ability to have an impact, you're losing self-fulfillment as trainers, popularity, absolutely, glamour, time, you're losing a big part of your life. At some point of time, you have to overcome that, right? So trust me, everyone is camera shy. Okay, again, I'll give you my personal example. I've been into public speaking for 12 years. I host a lot of corporate events, leadership summits, business seminars. When I did my first stand-up video, I was shivering, I was shivering. I literally, and people could see that. Okay. But I'm like, no, I need to do this. I need to do this. Even now I shiver, but yeah, I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. So the next time you think you're camera shy, just write down all the points you're losing, and everyone pointed that out brilliantly. Opportunity, money, business, popularity. I would say self-fulfillment. Your story needs to be heard and you're the one who's stopping that. Okay. So, but if everyone is going to make videos, then won't there be too much out there? Brilliant. I think that's a great question by Kavita. Kavita, what's the population of this world? I think we are at a good 7 billion, right? It's I think the parallel is, if you everyone takes 1 liter from the ocean, there is no water on earth. No, the oceans are huge, right? How many videos do we watch every day? We are watching at least 10, 12, 15 videos. There is enough content and there's enough space for new content as well, right? So all these are our notions that, hey, this has already been said, I can't say it. Hey, this has been repeated. Hey, I have nothing new. Just put it out there. You never know what will strike people. Okay. I'll give you my example again. In LinkedIn, I post very regularly. I post at least once a day. And sometimes I feel like, hey, I don't think this video is going to do well because I'm probably not adding great perspectives. But then that video goes on viral. It gets a lot of views because somewhere it's hitting someone. I don't know in which way. We cannot control that. Right? I don't know what may trigger something, right? So this is all beyond our comprehension. So don't get bogged down that there's enough already. There is space for 10x of what is already there. Do you know the number of users who are being added onto the internet, right? Because of Geo, the penetration is massive. We have close to 220 million mobile internet users right now, and it's only increasing. Why do you think companies with vernacular focus are getting funded? Because they know the next wave of growth will happen in tier 2, tier 3 rural India. They should hear your message. Let's say if you think the urban crowd knows everything, then maybe it's the small towns who want to hear your message. And you never know. Maybe the small town takes a liking to you. And if they like something, they will genuinely share it. So don't have those notions. Okay. Let me answer a few more questions that came. So Anita says, fear of being judged. Well, it's the same question. This fear is always going to be there. How did we learn swimming? Well, no one learned swimming reading a manual or watching a YouTube video. You just jumped into it. Your parent just threw you or your coach just threw you and you got started. Okay. Let me see if we have any more questions around creating videos. I think it needs a lot of effort in creating and promoting. KJ, I again want to bust that myth. It does not take time. Okay, I'm not talking about fully processed videos. Take a video. In the start, you may do a couple of retakes. Again, I said these are 2 to 3 minute videos. I think it should take max 5 to 7 minutes, even if you're retaking it, redoing the whole thing. And for now, forget about the promoting part. Okay, let's forget about the promoting part. Just put the videos out there. Just put the videos out there, and then you'll see momentum build up. So please don't think it takes a lot of time to create these videos. It's very simple. Let's say 5 to 10 minutes of just brainstorming on that content that you want to say for 3 minutes, and then actually shooting it and then putting it up. All in all, this whole exercise should not take you more than 30 to 40 minutes. Okay. Pratima says, not sure what to say in the video. Pratima, again, goes back to what we were discussing with Anand. You have a lot in you because you're the subject matter expert, right? So you definitely know what you need to say. Lekesh says proper place to shoot. Doesn't matter. Lekesh. Just shoot wherever you are, So here's another concept. People like people who are vulnerable, right? Even if the background is bad, the lighting is poor, it's still fine. Because if your content is powerful, it will travel. Let's take the example of Bhuvan Bam. I think most of us know him. He's a big celebrity right now. If you see his background tone, posters, walls, pathetic, but look at his content, top notch. People just got hooked onto it. So places don't matter, right? So brilliant. Okay. Minu says, which medium you rank the highest for video sharing? So since we are into training industry, I would say it is LinkedIn, something that I shared with you earlier as well. Monica says, get out of your comfort zone. Absolutely. I would add one more word to it. Get out of your comfort zone every day. Okay. It's not that once you post videos and then you're back to the grind. You need to start posting a lot more. Okay. Now, how social media algorithms work. The more you post, the more they throw your message out. Simple. Frequency is important for social media algorithms. Now look at from the perspective of the person who's created this platform. If Anand comes and he posts a video every day, as a social media platform owner, I'm like, hey, Anand is a content creator for me, right? So I should promote Anand. Vis-a-vis someone else who comes in and he's posting once a month or even twice a month, not good enough. You need to stay engaged with your users, right? So I'm actually asking you one video every day. It might be a tall order given the fact that you're not doing videos, but to start with, maybe once in 3 days. But I'll tell you the algorithms, it is simply as much as you can post. Okay. Vikash says ideal length of videos. Well, Vikash, the concept that I'm talking about is called micro videos. So 3 minutes is perfect, right? 3 minutes is just perfect. And again, in those 3 minutes, have 3 simple points. Okay. We don't really have to make this very complicated. Have 3 points and make it engaging and say, comment what you liked about this video. It may push some users to comment. Then there's an interaction. Then there's engagement, right? So 3 minutes is a good time. You could do definitely a lot more than that, but at least for 3 minutes. Okay.
Anurag, what's the name you mentioned just now with the trashy background and everything?
Bhuvan Bam, he's a guy who's very famous amongst the youth. His content connects very well with the youth. So he used to do a lot of videos.
Spell,
make
please,
jokes.
please spell.
Yeah. Bam. You can just put BB. He's all over the internet. Just put BB on YouTube and you'll get this guy. Okay. Meena says, is it okay to do an FB live and share it on LinkedIn? Okay. So Meena, this is content repurposing. Okay. Now, let's say if I have to create content from this webinar, okay, what I will do is, since this is a 1 hour webinar, I'm sure I've answered, let's say 10 questions. I will split this webinar into 10 parts and every day I'll schedule these videos on LinkedIn. Okay. So you see, I don't have to every day shoot it. I've just done my job at one shot and schedule these videos. There are many scheduling tools as well, right? That's the best way to go about doing it, right? Just schedule it at one shot, have a scheduling window of 15 days, right? So you don't have to every day, because I know you will be caught up in something or the other. So every Sunday I take time out, schedule my post, right? So what does content repurposing mean is, let's say I wrote a 500 words article on time management. Let's assume I'm into productivity hacks. Okay, and I've written this article for 500 words. Now I will take this article, I will create an email and send it to my readers. The same article will be a blog post, which people can read when they come onto my website. The same 500 words, I will create a 4-minute video or a 3-minute video, which goes to YouTube. The same 4-minute video I will post on LinkedIn. The same 4-minute video, I will cut it down into 4 videos, paste it, put up on Instagram and again on TikTok. So you got the strategy, which is you just created, end of the day, you wrote a 500 word article and then you split it up and then you just flooded it on social media. Right? So that is called content repurposing. If you've seen Gary Vee videos, Gary Vee is very popular with that. In fact, this is his concept, and then everyone followed suit. So he's the pioneer of, just creating a lot of content. So he creates like 50, 60 pieces of content every day. Okay. He's also got a team backing him. So, but yes, that should be the focus. Okay. So Rohan says, could you share more insights on the broader topic of personal branding beyond videos? Okay. So, good question, Rohan. Someone also said, I am not into training, right? Let's say you want to, okay, we'll talk about a little bit about content marketing. That's one of the handwritten notes that I have. Let's say I am in a business and I want to attract a new customer. What's the best way to do it? I know this person. I know that I want to talk to Mr. Let's say I can see Madhavan. Madhavan is my, I want him to be my customer. I know he works for a company called Shell. How is the best way I can approach Madhavan using content marketing as a strategy? Throw your solutions. I want to target Mr. Madhavan, and I want to use content marketing as a strategy. How do I get him as a client? Throw your ideas.
Hi. Am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Madhavan. Okay. Madhavan has actually come on call. Okay. It looks like he's ready to come on board as a client. Yes.
No, is it accidental that you mentioned my name, or you saw it on?
I just saw it on the screen, so I was looking for a name, and I just saw it. Okay.
Am I audible?
So, yeah. So Amit says.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now you're talking about how you connect that content.
How can I get you as a customer is my question right now. How can I know I need to approach you? How can I get you as a customer using content marketing?
So we need to find out what is the key requirement for that particular client. What is the client desperately looking for, and if you are able to give that to him.
Correct. So this is
Am
again
I
going to
right?
be a
Am I
sales
right?
pitch. Yeah. So this is going to be a sales pitch. So I find you, Amit. Yeah. So I connect with him on LinkedIn. Hey, Amit, I have this great service. Do you want it? Right. So it is always everyone's going to pitch to Amit, to Madhavan this way. So he will have a flood of LinkedIn inbox messages. Okay. Of course, we can try a reference, but again, it depends whether I can get a reference or not. Okay. So a very indirect way, and this is a great hack for all the trainers out here. Maybe this could be your biggest takeaway. If you want to do a training gig, a training consulting with a company, you just go to the owner of the company and says, look, I have a podcast and every week I interview industry experts. We saw your profile and it looks great. Can you come onto the show? Simple. Okay. Now what will Madhavan think? Hey, I'm being interviewed. This is great PR for my company. And most people will say yes. Right. And what will eventually happen is he comes onto the show and you give him a good time. You make him feel special and he adds a lot of value. In return, he's obviously going to ask you, what do you do? What are the things that you do? And you're going to say, I'm a trainer and I work with a lot of companies. And if I know Madhavan has a requirement, there is a very, very, very good chance he will say, hey, Anmol, why don't you come to my office? We have a training requirement. We can talk about it. Right. So that's a very indirect sales pitch. So to answer that question, this is no videos, but it's just that you're now suddenly portraying that you are kind of a brand who interviews experts. Right. That's a little bit of branding that you have done. And it's a very different way of the entire sales pitch. So all the trainers out here, go ahead and start interviewing the decision makers. So if you're training, I don't know, if it's soft skills and you do it with corporates, then probably train the head of learning and development of that company. I mean, go and interview that person. Don't interview the CEO, because the CEO is not connected to the L&D head. Talk to the L&D head and just bring them on for a talk show, for a video collaboration, or whatever it is, right? Thanks guys. So it works. I'm not saying this because this is just an idea. I work with clients, we've worked on this strategy, and I've seen results close to 90% of the times. 90% of the time this works, And end of the day, the best part is everyone wins. Even if Madhavan doesn't convert as a client, I'm sure he would have added a lot of value in that conversation. I get to know Madhavan, and if Madhavan doesn't have a requirement, his friend may have a requirement. Okay, so again, you're positioning, you're branding yourself as an expert in that space, someone who's interviewing, L&D leaders, understanding more about that space. So those are actually going to be very, very crucial ways to get your customers. Great, good to know that, Smita. Rajni says, putting your client first approach. Client first is more of when I'm servicing the client, I have the client's best interests in mind. So there's a little difference. Client first is, I have put the client's interest first. This is somewhere related to that, but more from a marketing perspective, right? So yeah, to an extent, kind of a client first approach. You give them what they need, and then they will give you what you need, types, right? So if a decision maker, yeah, what's in it for me? Very, very crucial. So if I just make it as a raw sales pitch, very difficult to get Madhavan's attention because everyone's pitching to him. Okay. So if I'm a decision maker and someone wants to say, what's in it for me? Yeah, brilliant. So someone saying that if I'm a decision maker, I want to know what's in it for me. So your sales pitch is very simply that it could be on 3 grounds. One is, look, my channel has, a good readership. So a lot of people are going to be tuned into it. So there's some PR. You could play the PR angle. Second angle you can play is, see, you've been in the industry. You have a lot of experience. We want that value. We would love to grow. Right. So now you're massaging their ego that, hey, I'm an industry expert, and the people, no one says no to an interview. It's very difficult unless, the person is like really a big hotshot and he's hard pressed for time. The third is, give back. Right. You could always play that angle as well. That, this is, my podcast is all about, giving back to the society. So we invite people who can share value so that others are going to grow. So it's a different angle, which is more around giving back. And we all have that corner within us, right? So if you're not actively giving back, hey, at least my words can inspire people. So different angles to play, but I don't think it should be a difficult pitch. So yeah, it does work. Okay. Urmila says, okay, brilliant. I thought this question was going to come. Urmila, I have seen some pretty bad or average videos. Isn't that going to go against your personal branding? I think bad videos are very good for you because now you know what is bad and what is good. Simple, right? I have written this down. Let me search for my notes. Because bad videos is very good because when you see there's no engagement, you actually realize what is working and what is not working. And it is not that people are constantly thinking about you. No one's thinking about you. Right? That's the ugly truth, right? No one's thinking about you. It's not that you watched a video and then you're like, oh my God, I'm never going to follow that person. It doesn't work that way. It's a lot more about you realizing what works and then, or what doesn't work. And then, hey, this is bad because maybe I was not able to give that message out properly. Right? And then you will improve. So I think it's a great start. Bad videos is a wonderful start. If you can consistently produce bad videos for the next 21 days, I can guarantee that there will be a time when 21 days you will be able to produce good videos without effort. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to write that down. Let's call the CTA to this webinar as 21 days of bad videos, right? That will set the expectation. That's it. All you need to do is 21 days of bad videos, guys. That's all the CTA is. I don't want people to say, come to the session like, hey, the ideas were interesting. I actually want you to make 21 days of bad videos. Let people will tell you, hey, this is not good, that is not good. And trust me, you'll grow a lot more faster. So Vikash says, professionally, I work closely with the government of India on Skill India mission for the rural youth. How about if I broadcast video on topic like finance and management? Vikash, I think you're doing a great job. I think there's a lot to learn from you. So again, don't think of, should I do videos here? Just go and do it. So when you're on the field, interview a little kid, interview the youth, ask them what they are thinking and just put that video up. This is what the youth is thinking. This is what the youth feels about women empowerment. This is what the youth needs. Just talk to people, put the content out there and let the audience decide what they want to see. Right? So if no one's, we cannot just sit and decide what works. it's a hopeless exercise. Put content out there. Go ahead, put up stuff on finance, put up stuff on management, interview people, talk about the government of India, see what works, right? But what's really important is for you to get started and put the content, and let's see how the audience is responding. We are never going to get it right the first time. Okay, at least with all the people I interview, I have not come across anyone, who had a plan that I'm going to do this and it worked just that way. There's a lot of pivoting in between. Okay, so yeah, so I think that's pretty much what I wanted to share. And there's just one more thing. So you need to just build your first 100 fans. Okay, so you build a community of people who now start liking your content. And it will take some time, but these are the 100 people who will get you your next 1,000 people, and then the curve starts, right? So you just need to think of these 100 people to start with, and just start experimenting. Okay, all right, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to share. I've given you a CTA as well. Keep the questions coming in. I'm not sure, Smita, if we could get people to unmute as well. And
yeah, as and when somebody wants to ask a question, if they raise their hand, we can unmute them.
Great.
Or they can take it one by one, following decorum themselves.
Sure. So guys, please make sure if you're coming on audio, there's no background noise, so that it's clear for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes. So raise your hand if you have a
question.
question.
Open for questions.
Single.
There's a lot of background noise. Don't have
We have a lot of background
please
noise.
Please raise your hand. You have another question from Pratima Anmol.
Yes.
Can I get
so,
some more information on building your 100 fans?
Yes. So the strategy is very simple. It's to find your first 100 people. So if you look at it now, when you start posting videos, you will see certain people who will always, start liking your posts. Okay, it will happen. It will start happening. You will see these people constantly commenting, and then probably you are also commenting with them. They start becoming your friends, your actual friends, right? So you will see that community grow, right? So don't look at it, I need to build a community and I want like 1 lakh people to follow me. All those are lofty dreams, very ambitious, which can actually stop you from growing. All you need is 100 people who like your content. Just think of these 100 people, create videos for these 100 people. I'm talking to them, and you will see that these guys are in turn spreading your message. They will start soon sharing your videos as well, right? Small example, I didn't know Bipla Bendu is going to attend this webinar. Bipla and I, we've had a wonderful interaction. Now, Bipla Bendu keeps following me. I also keep following him. We bump into each other at airports. So it's a give and take relationship, right? Thank you, Ram. It's so sweet of you. Thank you so much for those words. I really appreciate it. Guys, keep the questions coming in. We've got some time for questions. Whatever's in your mind, don't think twice. Just go ahead and then,
So, Bipla Bindu can ask a question. She can talk now. I'm unmuted.
Sure, Bipla, go ahead.
Hi, Anmol. Good evening.
Good evening, Bipla.
Yeah, here is a question here. See, I have, as you are aware, that I have joined a new organization. So for me, personal branding comes to me, I have to create a personal brand within my organization.
Right.
Because if I don't create my personal brand here, then let me put it another way. I want to create a personal brand here within the organization so that I can get a support from my all internal stakeholders with all my, when I go for a customer, say customer support or material delivery. So how do I do the personal brand within the organization?
Sure. I think that's a very important question, because so far we've been talking about entrepreneurs and them building their brand. This is more of you as an employee. So number one, Bipla, don't look at it as building a brand within an organization only. Okay. Since I know you're in sales, I think you should be putting out a lot of content out there about sales. Of course, you cannot disclose company information, but generic stuff, your experiences, put it out there.
Okay.
Primarily for a couple of reasons. One, your next boss is seeing that content.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Your next.
I have a point here. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
As I said, like you made a plan of action for me. So I want to add a value to the audience here that Anmol had created a plan of action for me, where he told me that you create at least 52 recommendations on your LinkedIn profile. So I could successfully get 6, and that 6 recommendation landed me a dream job, which
Wow.
I was waiting for more than 10 years.
Wow.
Okay, because I think this is what I'm linking to what you said just now, that somebody from the hiring company saw that recommendation and I got a call directly and I was there on the top of the mind.
Wow.
So I think this is what you wanted to say me. And as you said, the content part, I have also asked this question in the chat box that if I am, it's not the background from my side, sorry. So to post. See, I am from a subject. This is not from my side.
Quickly wrap up the question so that I can start the answering and we'll mute the
Because
participants.
Anmol, we have 2 more people waiting. So let's.
Yeah. So my question is like, if the content has to be from my subject or it can be anything.
No, so it goes back to what is the brand that you're building on. I remember I spoke about the 3 words, right? So maybe your branding could be the successful sales guy. I'm just top of my mind, okay? Or the funny sales guy, or the insightful sales specialist. So these are all your content has to be around this. Okay. I think it's best we all go on mute because I think the experience otherwise will not be great. So I think you can just put questions there on chat. Suma says she's going to start videos right from today. I think that's great, Suma. I think if you can do that, I think this session would have been very successful. So thank you so much for that. And someone saying, when is stand-up comedy going to start? Okay, let's see. We'll just field a couple of more questions. Not sure of a stand-up comedy, but I have a poem that I've written on. I've written a poem, so I will read out that poem for you for sure. Okay.
Mona Lisa can ask the next question if she's still around. I have unmuted her.
Yeah, Mona Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. First, let me compliment. It's a wonderful session and you've given such crisp tips. What I wanted to say is we are looking for 100. We are looking for 100 first people to target, right? So, like can you give us a few tips or suggestions so that it becomes trending, and then it touches upon the chord or something like that. So if you can just share a few examples on that quickly. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Mona Lisa, for that question. So you spoke about trending and touching a chord. Okay, those are 2 very, very crucial aspects. And the best part is that I don't know the answer to that. I'll tell you why, because every time I launch a stand-up video, I think this is going to get
Awesome.
this video is going to get 10 million views. That's what I think when I launch it. After that, it doesn't. It does well. People like it, people share it, but it doesn't trend. It doesn't go viral, right? So I think it's a process. It's a process. So every time I put a video, I ask people, hey, what did you like in this? What did what can be improved? So I'm constantly keeping my ears open to see what people like and what they don't, right? So Mona Lisa, simply give you your answer. There is no formula as such which will immediately make you go viral. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of experimentation, but keep your ears open, right? Understand what people are liking and what can be improved, right? And if you keep playing that game, you will hit it. But it's a journey of 5-7 years. So be prepared for that.
Okay.
Wow.
The next question is from Amit Ahuja.
Sure.
So let's take that, please. Amit, if you would ask the question.
Hey, Amit.
Yeah, I love that phrase when you said, consistency is important than perfection.
Right.
So here is my question. Like, I am doing a lot of, webinars, okay, these days because all the, learning right now. So how to start this session and make it more impactful? Like when we are going for the welcome speech or when you are sharing the, topic, what are the things which we need to be mindful of? And at the same time, like, is there some set parameters, methods, or techniques to it? If you can, share some light.
So, Amit, you're talking about webinars in particular?
Yeah. So it is
Got you. So Amit, see, I have done 106 webinars till now. Okay, and it's all with my company that I do these webinars, and I find that this stuff works. You know, people like this. Do you guys like this? Put a yes in the chat box if you like some handwritten notes. I like to keep the chat interactive. I want people to tell yes, no, what they feel. That gives them a certain sense of, you know, I know that they are with me. So keep the chat interactive. Do something different. Have a definite CTA, right? You should be able to, you know, put your learnings into 1 or 2, max 3 CTAs. So have a definite CTA that people after the webinar will always remember. Like now everyone is right, so no one's going to forget it. I can write and give you that no one's going to forget this. They may not remember everything I said in the webinar, but they remember him and he's asking us bad videos. Yeah, what a different thing that is, right? So give them something, you know, which they can take back home. So there is a definite VIFM, Amit. Keep the chat engaging, and also do a study of what kind of audience, but most of them are trainers. So I try to keep my content towards trainers, and because I know it's more videos, so that's where this session was largely focused on videos.
Okay. We have Meenu next, waiting for the next question, Anmol. Meenu, yeah, please go ahead with your question. I've unmuted you.
I would like to good or bad. So bad videos aren't going to impact our image. That would be, you know, people would be there who are watching the videos and then they won't be interested in
It
watching
doesn't
other
work
videos.
that way, Minu. Let's assume you produce 21 bad videos, okay? And people are like, hey, I don't like these videos, okay? But over time, you now start producing good content because you produce bad content. Now you start producing good content, and it just takes one idea for my image to change about you, right? Let's say I don't like your content, put up something which really strikes me. I'm like, wow, this sounds interesting, and then I start following you, right? I'm sure on LinkedIn we see a lot of videos which are not that great, okay? But do you remember those? Which was the last bad video you saw, Minu? Tell me. Minu, are you with me? Tell me the last bad video. Who it was posted by whom? Okay, I'm gonna assume that.
I think we've lost Meenu. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Ashutosh, your question.
Yeah, hi.
She's
Yes,
back.
Minu is there. So tell me, Minu, which is the last bad video? Can you recall that person's name?
See, to be very honest, I am not aiming to create bad
Right.
videos, but just for my knowledge sake, I was seeking the answer to this
Sure.
suggestion of yours. And I do not remember any bad video or good video as well. Just looking at my time, how I'm monitoring and how I'm managing. So I'm not very much active these days on LinkedIn, though I must be. And during this quarantine, there are so many other things that are popping up.
Right. I love what Minu said. I think that's the hallmark of the session. She said, I don't remember bad and good videos. I love that point. You know, guess what? People won't remember your good videos also. That is why you need to be consistent, right? I think she just drove in that exact point that even if you're creating 1-2 good videos, it's not enough. If you need to be consistent, then people will start remembering you, right? So it works both ways. Sorry, Ashutosh, go ahead.
Hey, hi, Anmol. I'm Ashutosh. See, by profession, I'm an HR, so I take care of the automation part. But what I feel always difficult because I give a lot of training session to my HR team, my trainers, my employees everywhere in English language. I always find it difficult to introduce myself. What should be the crisp and like you said, on the beginning of the session, you said your 3-letter words are very important. How you are starting up the session. So I always find it very difficult to how do I introduce myself because it's a very normal way people introduce that. Okay, I'm Ashutosh Mishra from here and all. I do this that all those things. But how will you be very creative in terms of introduction? Just wanted to know about it.
Sure. So Ashutosh, if the introduction is just about an HR and he's working for this company, I don't think it's going to have an impact. Since you're into automation, I think it's a great opportunity for you to brand yourself in HR and in that HR automation, right? So that according to me is a blue ocean. So if your LinkedIn reads as HR automation expert, okay, we can do better than expert, but just for now, HR automation expert, it just gives me a very different kind of idea to it. And if I see all your content is around how automation can help HR, how automation can help reduce costs, save time, how success stories of automation, which are the best tools to use, some use cases, case studies. If I see a lot of content around that, I'm like, hey, Ashutosh is an expert here. And next time, when I am thinking of HR and I'm thinking of how do I automate these processes, guess who will I remember? It will always be you.
Okay.
Right. So I want you to be known more if that's your core competency. So Ashutosh, kindly, get yourself that kind of a branding.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. So thank you so much.
Next, we have Thirumal ready waiting for the next question.
Yes.
Thirumal, please go ahead.
Yeah, Anmol, it is fantastic. The session is really awesome.
Thank you, sir.
You could break a lot of myths, around this video making. And to the question which was raised a while ago regarding, if a video is not a good success and then they would stop watching us, I would like to bring in a kind of a parallel here. If you see top heroes, they make some flop movies.
Very good.
The favorites still go back and watch those movies. You see, who's stopping watching those movies? So I think that's a great example. There's a great indicator as an example where people can make flop movies, still come back and make a good movie. So we are no different, from those heroes. We can also still make flop videos and still come back and make better videos anytime.
Brilliant. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
Everyone has flops. Everyone has flops, right? Michael Jordan once said, "I've missed more than 6,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 250 games. 26 times I was trusted to take the game-winning shot, and I've missed.
True.
And I've failed over and over again. That's why I succeed." One of my favorite quotes.
Imagine even a movie which is actually incorporates the director, the producer, the actors, and in spite of that, it fails. Here it's a solo video which you are making. So in spite of all the collective effort, they make flops. So
Right.
Imagine as an individuals, we are entitled to make flop movies, flop videos. As an individuals, is all the more,
Guys, it's clear.
That's the kind of a metaphor there.
Yes, Thirmal has helped us. He's given us the license to go ahead and flop. Now, no more questions. We are not going to feed. It's a established theory. We are allowed to flop because the big guys are flopping.
I'm supporting your idea.
Big guys are flopping, so it's time we flop. Then we become the big guy. Contrary. That's the way to think. Okay.
Anmol, can we take the last question by
Yes.
Sudhanshu?
Yes.
Sudhanshu, I've unmuted you. Please go ahead and ask your question. And I think we have a couple of questions in the chat box also. After that, I think because we are almost out of time, and last couple of questions, because you're giving us a lot of information and a lot of people are curious to understand more. So great. So, Sudhanshu,
Sure.
please go ahead.
Anmol, hi.
Hey, Sudhanshu. Pleasure to connect with you.
Yeah. So basically my question is, being a bootstrap startup, we have to do everything ourselves. So creating a video, editing it and everything may take a lot of time. So in spite of that, what do you think about going live directly and discussing it with the crowd? But I personally feel that sometimes we can get nervous in between and things can go wrong.
I would say that's very good, Sudhanshu, again, because when you are live, you get an opportunity to connect with the user at a very intimate level. Personally, I love going live because I think that's when you are raw and flesh and ready to make mistakes. I think there's a lot of power in the whole live medium. So it's part of the process, Sudhanshu. You have to live through that nervousness and eventually only to come out of it. Right. So I do suggest that in your case, I think the branding needs to be more around the company. I don't know the product or service, but do a lot more of these. Please do a lot more of these, and don't worry. People are not judging you for your how you speak. People are evaluating what value you have to share. That's all. Right. So even if I am not able to speak well, I'm stuttering, I'm pausing, but I'm giving a lot of value. I'm really talking stuff where the audience wants it. I think we will accept that person with open arms. So don't keep that holding back.
Anmol, Lavanya has something to share.
Yes,
Lavanya,
Lavanya.
I've unmuted you. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Smita. And that was a great session, Anmol. This
Thank
is
you.
Lavanya here.
Yes.
I wanted to actually share a tip on making videos for all those who are first-time users, and note that I'm still a learner. I'm still on the learning journey. I haven't like released any videos as yet, but everyone is talking about the nervousness behind starting a video or talking as such. And here is one thing that I've been doing over the last 2 weeks now successfully. Is that every single day I make 1 minute videos, okay, and they're just for myself. All right, so I just pick a topic, and it can be just about anything. It can be as crazy as what you've cooked, or about your pet, or about any realistic topic that would be of use to people around you, or even to your clients, right? So just pick a topic and just talk for 1 minute. But the whole idea of doing it is to assess your body language, get over your fear of facing the camera, and by the end of whatever target period you set for yourself, you'll actually be ready to do the videos and go live, or just about release it on your social media channels. I thought I would share this because it's worked really well. It's been 2 weeks now, and
Great,
I hope.
Lavanya. I'm going to clap for you, but those videos need to see the light of the day. So bring them out.
Yeah, right now they're just
Let's
very, very casual stuff. But I know I'm almost ready to take them to the next level.
Great. More power to you.
Thanks, Lavanya. Any other questions that I think we're done, Anmol. Most of the questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would like to just thank Anmol first of all. Anmol, I always follow your Facebook page. So the recent Corona, the topic which you have posted, it was fabulous, and I really thank for that. And we probably wants to hear more of some say, stuff of that. So thank you, and it's a brilliant session.
We'll have Anmol again. We will invite him again for a session which is only on stand up and all his videos, and have fun also. Anmol,
Smita, the first time I saw his photo, right, I felt, oh wow, I'm following this person in the FB, and I got his photo for
So Anmol,
editing.
you're going to be back in popular demand. We need to have you back. Okay.
Sure.
So 1 hour is not enough, and we would love to have you back. Thank you so much, Anmol. It was a really fantastic session. So many things, and it was one of the most interactive sessions I've ever attended. Okay,
Thank you.
so
Thank
amazing.
you so much.
Thank you so much, Anmol. Thank you.
Yeah. So sorry I couldn't do the stand-up, but I'm gonna leave a link to my YouTube channel. Guys, do check out my stand-up comedy. I do a lot of stand-up comedy around sales.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Marketing,
this is called personal branding now.
Absolutely, there has to be a CTA as well.
That's an example. Awesome.
You have to have another CTA as well. So yeah, do subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Smita, Shilpi. Cheers. We'll stay in touch.
Thank you, Anmol. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
How do I save this recording anta nange gottaagtilla.
No, in the setting page it will be there, Smita.
Oh, I'm on not